Money is driving why and how people do things.
Right.
And it's not a matter of what contribution are we making and getting a sign that you're making a contribution and adding value because of the exchange of money.
Right.
Because money isn't bad, it's a good thing.
It's energy,
right? It oils the car. It's the medium through which we exchange services and goods. But what happens is people make it their God, and they become enslaved to money, and then they make rationalizations, justifications for doing things that in their heart they know aren't right.
Yes.
And that's what's happened collectively amongst the whole population. We're getting a collective lesson in greed. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't just the bankers and the politicians. It were the individual homeowners,
everybody,
and the investors trying to make a quick buck off the internet, and
right,
or cheating on, and getting a home loan and things they probably knew they shouldn't be doing. We collectively as a society.
Well, I so appreciate that you are mentioning this from the point of view of taking accountability, because I hear so many times it's the bank, it's the government, it's the economy, but until we realize that we're part of it,
right,
there's no solution. So I think it's really important to see it that way. Is that right?
Yes, I'd agree. We all play a part, and we have a part in how we deal with the banks, if we allow them to be that way.
And so if we wanted to be part of the solution, what would you, any suggestion you would have?
Yes, I think there's one thing that will help anybody that wants to make a change, and that is to raise their own level of consciousness, to awaken their own higher consciousness so they think, speak, and act from a place of higher consciousness. Then when you engage in business, you will engage in business in a different way if you engaged it from just, how can I get what I want?
How can I give?
How can I give? I like to call it a contribution-based model of capitalism, where the object is to make the contribution. The money is a part of the equation, but it's not the reason why we do things.
Right, and that is really a place where you have to be connected to trusting something bigger than your own individuality, to trust that in the giving there will be a receiving. Often because we're disconnected, we want to take.
Right.
So it seems like it's a circle to what you were saying first. The awakening has to come first.
Right. The awakening of consciousness, from my perspective, is the source where everybody can find greater happiness and peace too. Because a lot of people think, well, I'll get the money, then I can do what I want, then I'll have security, then it'll get better. But if you turn it around and make, what I like to say is make God your priority, or make your own awakening of consciousness and spirit your priority, then the divine takes over your life. You don't have to worry about money. I don't think about money, and we're prospering. I'm making more money. I know what to do with. Not because I'm trying to make money. I don't even care. I've made my money. I've retired, basically.
Good for you.
And now I'm just trying to help people. But opportunities keep coming in because my mind is focused on how can I serve. That's an energy. If you put that energy out, people that need that service find you. It's an attractive energy, you see. It's a force in life that draws people, places, opportunities to you, and it does every day.
Okay. So I'd like to ask you also, what can help this awakening? I'm sure that just the longing for something brings us to that thing. But besides just desiring, if somebody is listening to you and saying, I'm not sure I'm awakened right now, but I really want to, what can I do? What would be your advice? What would be the first step? I know you teach meditation. Would that be one thing? But
yes, and again, the meditation's the tool.
Okay.
And it's not so much meditating as a device to get somewhere you think you need to be, because you're not where you are now.
Okay.
But in the meditation that we teach, the Shaktipat, it's really connecting with what already is and who you already are. So there's no doing something to get someplace other than where you are, but connecting with what already is.
Right.
See the difference?
Yeah.
So that when you connect with your life force energy, your own nature is developed, and the beautiful thing is it networks or processes through the neurology, because you need to assimilate the awareness of your higher consciousness into your body-mind vehicle. For someone to have a complete awakening experience without the training to get there, they would probably think they were insane. It's almost like if you dropped acid and didn't know you had, the world would seem so different. You'd be dysfunctional. And this happens to people all the time.
Right.
They have what they might call a Kundalini awakening or some kind of profound spiritual experience. It's a sign that their own spirit's trying to push them to take that next step, to go to that next level. And of course it is easier with the tools, it is easier with a teacher, a true teacher, someone that actually experiences it or has been trained by somebody that has, you know, there's...
Is meditation the only way? I've heard so many people saying, I just cannot, I've tried all the technique, I see it, close my eyes, and all I'm facing is this agitating mind, I just can't sit still, there's got to be another way to connect to God.
They're not in true meditation then. They're probably trying to concentrate, and their mind isn't listening. So they're trying to do something to make their mind stop, which is a common problem. That's why 99% of the meditations in the world never lead to enlightenment for most people. But where I've seen enlightenment occur time and time and time again is when people finally drop their I and just allowed themselves to receive.
Drop
What's that?
Their I, their identity.
The sense of me doing. The part of I doing is the very thing getting in the way of being.
Of course.
And so as you know, if you study with a teacher, with Guru Mai, or when I studied with Maharishi, or when students study with me now, the idea is stop doing, just be with me, experience the state I'm in. That will become familiar to you because it's your natural state anyway. It's not me doing it, and it's not you doing it.
Which can be very challenging for some people who have only been doing their entire life.
That's the biggest difficulty I have with my students because they're all advanced students. Almost half of them teach meditation now.
Okay.
They're teachers in their own right, so when they come to the Institute, they've got their mind full of what they should be doing. And when I say, well, don't do that, stop working at it. The working at it is the ego thinking that it's separate from God, so anything you do in that regard is really denying what already is.
Right, right.
So another way to look at it is just abide in the truth of your own nature. But if you haven't experienced your own nature, you don't know how to do that. And that's where a teacher comes in.
Right.
So it's the darshan, it's the shaktipat, it's the connecting spirit and spirit, soul to soul, so that when we're in this communion, your own nature becomes apparent. There's no doing to it. You're not doing allows you to be. And that's really what meditation is. As Patanjali said, the absence of mental modifications is what yoga, or the science of self-realization, is. It's when your mind becomes still, but you don't still it by trying to still it. Because if you try, that's your mind trying to still your mind.